captain himself. The captain. The captain. The captain. You want me? You want me?
Shall I see my lady? I will never forget her. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Where shall I see my oh? Where shall I see my lady? I will never forget her. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh.
Hours of trauma, gone through what I can describe as a near-death experience. I mean, why not? I mean, from the fact of a flight, being diverted to the point of landing, to having to make, land in an airport without enough landing, the facilities, and it took the professionalism of the pilots to land safely, and then wait this kind of about 20 hours. I mean, it's important to be here. I do this on behalf of the president of our country, who has also issued a statement about this fact. The entire country is aware of what you've gone through. The entire country has been awake since last night, urging and praying that you come back safely to the country and to the government of this country. I mean, what was important was their safe return. Nothing else mattered to the president and to the people of Nigeria. I mean, we've had discussions with the various levels of leadership, of CAF, in terms of what has happened and what took place. But the bottom line is that, let me thank all of you for the great show of maturity. In spite of what took place, in spite of the provocation, we've seen all the pictures, the kind of manner that you were treated, and how you had to try to see whether you could even find some rest in the airport, how you were stopped from leaving the airport. And in spite of all of that, you remain calm, you remain mature. I mean, that is a spirit that is typical in Nigeria, and I need to, thank you and thank everybody, and welcome you back home.
Thank you, sir.
Arrival of Super Eagles of Nigeria there. What an ordeal. Welcome you on the show. 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Shafe. You just saw that particular clip of the arrival. And as Nigerians, we are really, really hoping that they will get here safely. And finally, we have Eagles at home. From Libya to Kano to Abuja, and the Eagles are finally in Nigeria. And you saw them singing "Home, My Home." Really, they're so happy for the fact that they were able to get here safely. And the Minister of Sport are also addressing them, how the whole nation is actually hoping that their safety is paramount. Well, like we have to do on the show, we just have to talk about this particular situation. Yesterday was a different day in Nigeria. What happened? The whole national team delegation, Nigerian Football Federation, held hostage by Libya authority. What a match, what a way to go there. Well, from the way it is right now, we'll be looking at the occurrence of that particular situation. What really went wrong? The first leg they play in Nigeria, when Libya came, I still remember vividly, where the boss of that particular team, the boss they were actually given to take them across Uyo, it was awarded by the NFF, and it was at least a good one. Aside that, we also saw some clips or pictures from the Libyans. Well, to them, they are claiming that the way we treated them. But right now, facts are coming out that it's not up to what really happened. They on their own decided to go through that route. And it wasn't intentionally from the NFF. And they did not go through half, in fact, quarter of what NFF delegation and Super Eagles went to actually experience over there at that particular airport. Meant for different thing entirely. Well, right now on the show this hour, we'll be looking at the particular story that has to do with the AFCON 2025 with two gentlemen in the studio. Well, the usual suspect is here. Olawale Peter is here joining us to talk sport this hour. Good to have you on the show. Good morning, Adeni. It's my pleasure being here. And I also have Joe Abuku, who is almost half of me on the show. Joe Abuku, good to have you.
Yes, good morning, Adeni, and good to be here once again.
Okay, good one. And also, while we're running the show, maybe 15 minutes ago, we'll have to open the phone line for Nigeria to also react. But before you react, concerning that situation, let's have the guests in the studio have their own time on the show. All right, now let's have the first story. AFCON 2025, Super Eagles return to Nigeria after Ordeal. in Libya. What an ordeal there. You saw the clip earlier on about all that happened, or that's with their return anyway. But when it comes to what happened there, why we're talking about it, you see pictures and also clips. Although we know it has gone viral, but at least we need to also showcase it. That has to do with the Super Eagles ordeal in Libya. That's the first story we're looking at. And let's start with Olale Peters. From everything that you actually saw, or you heard, or you've seen on internet and all that, but we are here to talk about it. Super Eagles return to Nigeria after that particular ordeal in Libya.
Okay, I'll speak about what I know.
Okay.
Not what I saw or what I heard. All I know is that the North African countries, when it comes to football, this is their trademark. This is their culture. We are students of history in this country. Excuse me. You recall vividly when Enyimba of Aba, when they went to the same Libya to play the entire Continental, we knew what they did to them. They slept at the airport overnight. Rivers United, when they went to the same Libya, we knew what happens. They are training at night and they switch off the stadium lights. So this is not something that just happened today. But this is very, very shameful. Just like the Minister of Sport and Development said, it's a near-death experience. Now let's take it from the diversion of the flight. They diverted the flight to over 100 miles from the Beninani airport is supposed to land. If you know how the aviation industry works, that is a lot of miles to cover. What if they didn't have sufficient fuel and the aircraft? That's number one. Number two, there's something they call ILA. That's an instrument landing system. That is what gives the pilot both the horizontal and vertical landing space, where to land and how to land. It wasn't available at that airport because that airport is only used for pilgrimage once in a year. So it's an abandoned airport. So what are they trying to do? So the pilot, thank God he's an experienced pilot, he has to land using the visual to land. What happens if he's not known to that terrain, because the pilot happens to be from the North African also.
From Tunisia.
From Tunisia. What if he doesn't know the terrain? What will have happened? God forbid, we'll have been in another situation in this country today. So I think apart from waiting for the CAF, the federal government, we have to call our diplomat from Libya and return the one they have with us back home. Because what they did, to be sincere with you, it's a suicide attempt. It's a suicide attempt in one way or the other. How can you keep your visitor, your guest, for over 18 good hours? No food, no water, no Wi-Fi, nothing. You lock them, attempted kidnap, or what? I think this is far beyond this. It is very, very disgraceful to see something like this happening. Apart from whatever the CAF is going to do, I think the Nigerian government also, they really, really need to come out fast so that such occurrences will never happen again. What they did, there's no excuse for it. When they came to Nigeria, we didn't treat them that way. What happened is, you see, when people talk at times, I just laugh as if you don't do your research or you don't know how some things work. Before you traveled to play a football match like this, you'll have had an impromptu discussion, an official documented, I'm leaving Libya, I'm going to land at Port Harcourt. Because now, let me tell you how it works again. Before you can enter any airspace, there must be an approval from the country. And before you can land at the airport also, there will be a clearance. So they are mid-air about 2 hours to landing in Nigeria before they told the NFF that they are not coming to Uyo to land. They want to land where? Port Harcourt. So they on their own diverted their own flight. It's not the Nigerian authority that told them that, no, don't come to Uyo. Benin Republic, they did it. Uyo. All other people that have been playing, that is where they landed. But they on their own decided that they want to stop at Port Harcourt for a reason best known to them. So that automatically distorts all the arrangements that the NFF have put in place. But still, after that, they still try as much as possible to provide them the necessary assistance that is really, really needed for them to do. But that is not in the case of our own. Nobody is even at the airport to even receive the Nigerian country. Imagine we have our NFF on that flight. The secretary of the NFF, the same flight. The director of communication on that flight. The deputy governor of Edo State on that same flight. So that is not a good way to treat your host. Sincerely, it is annoying, it is disgraceful, it is alarming, and we shouldn't take it lightly with them.
Okay, so we've been talking concerning the return of Super Eagles safely to Nigeria. Quickly, let's touch on the summary of the whole ordeal before Joe Abuku will also have his own on the show. Flight diversion to Al-Barak Airport instead of Benghazi. That's the summary of what really happened. No scanning matches of equipment or Al-Barak Airport. This is coming from Ademola Ajire, the Director of Communication of NFF, the summary of everything that happened. No Libyan Football Federation officials to receive the delegation, delayed luggage retrieval, and lack of transportation. Unquote treatment by airport security personnel. No food, no water, no internet connection provided. False claims by Libya authorities regarding incidents in Nigeria. 10-hour delay at the airport due to higher authorities' orders. Fears for team safety and security. Eventual cancellation of the match. That's how it happened bit by bit. Key event. On October 13, NFF delegation depart Uyo for Benghazi. On the same 13 at night, team arrives at Al-Barak Airport, faces delay and hostility. October 14, 2024, that's in the morning, Nigerian ambassador to Libya intervenes. Same 24, that's 14, yesterday, delegation decided to return to Nigeria without playing the match. At 1500 hours, we have a delegation depart Al-Barak Airport. What are the consequences of this particular occurrence? Cancellation of African Cup of Nations qualifying match, complaints filed with Confederation of African Football CAF, potential disciplinary action against Libya Football Federation. That is from CAF. But right now, let's talk to Joe Abuku to have his own side of the story. Yes, Eagles are back to Nigeria. You've seen the summary coming from Ademola Ajire there concerning the whole brouhaha that has to do with Eagles and Libya. Let me use Libya in quotes because it's not even about the team now. It's Nigeria versus Libya.
Yeah, I mean, it must be a huge relief for the Super Eagles and the nation at large that the players are back after such a harrowing experience. That's not what any team, not even a local five-a-side team, should be put through. And then to have that at the international level of football is extremely disgraceful. I saw it coming. I mean, I'm not being prepared. So I was watching the news the other day, I think a day before we played them in New York, and I saw on the news scroll that the Libyans had complained about being poorly treated in Nigeria, and the NFF dismissed their claim. I mean, I didn't know the facts of it, nothing had come about. I'm like, hey, knowing North Africans, just like Ademola has said, knowing North Africans for what they are, and this is not to stereotype North African, but there's a history of their teams, especially at club level, I mean, employing such antics and shenanigans. So I said, this doesn't look good. Looks like they will try to do something. And it came to be, I mean, diversion of a team's flight from Benghazi airport to Al-Barak, I mean, God knows how many miles away, leaving players of that caliber. These are not a secondary school team or, I mean, whatever. These are international superstars. I know, representing the highest level of a country's footballing team. I mean, putting them through the experience, 12 or 13 hours at the airport, no food, no internet, no one to receive them, having them, I mean, sleep on metal chairs the way they did. That was shocking. We see things like this mostly at club level football, and even that is not acceptable. Like he mentioned earlier, it happened to Eyimba some time ago. It happened to Rivers United. We see that at the club level, it's not something you employ at the international level of football. It doesn't look good on CAF. I remember many years ago, even during one of the CAF Champions League in the past, Lobby Stars were playing in Makoni. I think they went to another African team where a player I spoke to then said their hotel ordeal was quite, I mean, alarming. I mean, it was noise all through the night. They had people make all manner of noise, and they were not made comfortable. Now, Al Ali came to Makodi to play in the CAF Champions League. They were well received. Their players went around Makodi, seeing the sights. People welcomed them, cheered them. So it's something CAF needs to step in strongly. This is totally unacceptable. It looks like terrorism, to be honest, like a kidnap. You don't subject a country's football team to that level of torture and all. Now, when you look back, it looks like the complaints they made was just a strategy on their part to dish out what they really intended to dish out. And to see that it's not even just about their federation. I'm sure it involved the government of Libya, because the airport authorities to act the way they did, that goes beyond the Libya Football Federation. And also, it's not surprising this has led to a diplomatic spat that we are seeing now, and it's something the government of Nigeria and CAF should take very seriously.
Well, we've been at least talking concerning Eagles' safe arrival in Nigeria with Olawale Peters and also Joe Abuku. Well, right now, let's just check, because, you know, internets have a way of settling the issues at times. The captain actually of that flight that flew that particular airline to Libya is a man that knows the terrain of North Africa. He's from Tunisia. Well, after he landed in Nigeria, he was actually pushed to talk to the press. Let's have a glimpse of what he said that has to do with that particular situation in Libya.
For Libya yesterday, what was the point of arrival?
The flight plan was to land as destination Benghazi, Benina, but unfortunately, and we got the approval from the Libyan Civil Aviation Authority that we are approved to land in Benghazi, but unfortunately, when we start descent, they asked us to divert to Labreg, which is at almost 150 miles, that means 300 kilometers around, more far, but it's at the east. So it wasn't our alternate, something which is not good, because in aviation we have our flight plan, we calculate the fuel to our destination, so we have to avoid this kind of thing, because it may make a breach to safety. And when I insist to land in Benghazi according to my flight plan and according to my authorization, they said no. It's from the highest authority. You have to land in Labreg al-Baida. So
the Libyans are saying that it was your discretion to land in
no. Everything is registered. In aviation, we cannot hide anything. So I asked them several times, at least 8 times, and I warned them probably I will be in trouble for fuel. They said it's from highest authority. You cannot land in Benghazi. You have to divert immediately to Labreg. Thank God we make it safely, and we landed safe in the other airport.
In the event that your company is asked to provide evidence, will you be able to avail?
Yes. All the evidences are in all is documented in aviation. We cannot hide anything. This is our flight plan, so we cannot say something which is not wrong, because there is a lot of cross-check and a lot of redundancy in aviation. So they cannot hide this information or say other than the truth. The truth was.
You just heard him there talking about how unsafe it was. In fact, what if that fuel couldn't take them to the Al-Barak airport? That could have been suicidal. What Libya did anyway. Let's come to you. You heard what the man said.
Yeah, it's not about the Libyan Football Federation again. It's about
authority.
It's about the Libyan government, because he repeatedly said from the highest authority. Okay, who manage the airport? Is it the football administration? No. It is the federal government of a particular country. So it's like a connivance between the football administration and the government. So that's why you shouldn't take it lightly. Sincerely, this is a suicide attempt. It's suicidal what they intend doing. Imagine if the fuel they have cannot cover the over 100 miles that they have to reroute. And like I said earlier, before you enter airspace or before you can even land, you need to get approval. And they'll be given approval to land at the Benghazi airport. And like he said, in aviation, wherever you communicate, it's recorded. It's something that can be traced back. So honestly, this should go beyond the NFF and the Libyan Football Federation. This should be federal government of Nigeria versus Libya government. Because God forbid bad thing, we won't be here seated talking about diversion. It would have been another thing entirely. The Libyan Football Federation should be heavily sanctioned. In fact, they are not supposed to be seen in the likes of CAF again for the next few years. For this, what they did.
Okay, Joe Abuku, your turn to actually talk about that particular scenario of the captain talking about the flight.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very easy thing to investigate. It wouldn't be a case of hearsay or what one pilot or flight captain says versus what a member of the Libyan aviation authority says. It's very easy. The investigative bodies can look. If they claim they were diverted to Port Harcourt instead of Uyo when they were coming to Nigeria, that can easily be established as well if they are making up a false claim or if they actually have a genuine story. And if Super Eagles were meant to land in Benghazi, as the pilot has said, and were rerouted at the last minute to Ablak or whatever the airport is called, that will be very easy to establish. But I mean, it's really, like really astounding that international football at this level, a government would employ such antiques to, dim the chances, break the spirit, play mind games with the opponent. It's unheard of. I know we don't do that. I mean, if we were that desperate for points when Ghana came here for the last World Cup slot, we might as well put too much oil in their jollof or turned off the lights in their hotel just to. But we don't. I mean, they got the best treatment and were able to grab a point and deny us the World Cup. So I don't see Nigeria employing what the Libyans are accusing us of. So CAF needs to, get the relevant authorities, get the relevant investigative bodies, look into this strongly, not just to deal with this case, but to forestall any further occurrence. These are age-old tactics that have long been left behind. I mean, they're not in the era of social media, not in the era where cameras are all over the place, where at the click of a button, something can be spotted 500 miles, 1,000 miles away. So it doesn't look like the Libyans are telling the truth, and the captain has no point to lie. It's very easy to investigate this and establish the facts of the matter, and hopefully we'll get the outcome of the CAF investigation. If it's, well intended, we'll get the investigation soon. Okay,
we've been talking concerning Eagles' arrival and also what happened during the flight concerning the captain talking there. But right now, one man that did a yeoman's job, the captain of Super Eagles, talking about William Truss Ekong. Let's look at the story. Super Eagles captain Ekong narrates horrible treatment in Libya. Well, we really saw what he did on X. His handle was really, despite the fact that there was no internet. According to one of the journalists there, they had to find a way by telling the officials that, okay, one of the wives is sick, and before you know it, when they noticed that, they were tweeting, they were at least sending messages on X or internet, they quickly reconnect and change it. Well, right now, for William Truss Ekong, he actually appreciates Nigerians after they arrive in Kano and also via Kano to Abuja. Quickly, let's have it for what he said. That's the clip of William Truss Ekong.
Just got back to Nigeria with the team. I just want to say a big thank you to all the support that we've been getting. Out of energy. It's been a long 24 hours. We've tried to do our best to keep our spirits high. This will be the last thing I'm going to say about it. Football is all about respect, and that starts by respecting ourselves. We took a stand. I'm proud of the team's decision, and we'll be waiting to see what will be the follow-up from here, whatever the consequences are. We'll be ready to continue our journey to AFCON 2025 in November. So until then, thanks everyone.
William Truss Ekong there justify the reason why they boycotted that particular match. The statement we made on X should be outly be displayed while we're talking. You saw him there appreciating Nigerians for their support and the reason why they actually have to take that route.
A genuine reason, because number one, their life is paramount important to start with, because their life is at risk. They have went ahead to play that match. And let's forget about them losing. Let's forget about the emotional trauma or what happened. What if after what they've done, they went ahead, they played that match today, and we won that match, what do you think will have happened to them? What do you think will have, imagine that they've not played and they went through what they went through. If they went ahead and played the match and they won the match, their safety is not guaranteed. We know what the Libyan authority have done and what they can do. What they just needs to do is just to withdraw their police. And from the clip we showed, we saw one of their policemen pushing, very aggressive in nature. So I think as a captain, as a leader, and as a team, they took the right decision that any one of us, if we're in their shoe, will have taken also. So that's the right decision. Safety first. Then after that, whatever happens, we'll take it from there.
Okay, from the way it is right now, despite what has happened, we still have 7 points at stake. We're talking about Super Eagles and the captain there, William Ekong. It really went well yesterday on X, tweeting here, there, but let's just have maybe a snippet of what he did. Let's look at it. That's William Ekong. At this point, we have called for our Nigerian government to intervene and rescue us. As a captain, together with the team, we have decided that we will not play this game. CAF should look at the report and what is happening here. Even if they decide to allow this kind of behavior, let them have the point. We will not accept to travel anywhere by road here. Even with security, it is not safe. We can only imagine what the hotel or food will be like given to us if we continued. That's William Ekong as the captain of Super Eagles here. Joe Abuku.
Yeah, he showed great leadership. I mean, he had to make a judgment call, and he made the right one. At this point, you have to think about the safety of your team, your teammates first, before you think about 3 points. Like he said, when North African teams employ these tactics, these very shoddy or shady tactics, it's not just one activity. So first they try to break your spirit when you arrive, and if you're able to go over that hurdle, you meet a very hostile climate in the stadiums. I mean, I'm sure you've seen some North African games, from the fireworks to the chanting to, there's a lot
Lisa,
of...
they bring out Lisa,
Lisa.
yes.
I mean, I watched a game, was it Berger or Stores back in the day against one of these North African teams, and the climate in the stadium, you just want to get out safely. I mean, it breaks your spirit. So if they had gone on to play that game, and they'll have met that very hostile atmosphere, and had they won, everybody wants to win a game. Had they won, who knows? I mean, Libya is a country that's been in crisis since 2011. We're not even sure if they have a centralized government now. There's still a lot of non-state actors. Who knows we've seen many gory images come out of Libya. I mean, things happening to people. Who knows what would have happened to the team if they had gone on to win the game. Maybe a bunch of rebels might have been the one to escort them and say, hey, you guys thought you could come and dim our lights here, take this. You don't want that to happen to your player. And even if people are held to account, if anything sort of damage has been done, it's to whose advantage is it? So it's William Ekong did the right thing. And we've not seen this level of desperation. I mean, even a country in crisis, Afghanistan plays games. We've not heard where players in a visiting team is taken hostage or treated in this manner. So the Libyan authorities need to clean their act. It doesn't look good for them. It doesn't look good for the image of their country and for their football. And I'm not sure with this any other team will be willing to go there to take on a match.
Well, we've been looking about the Super Eagles Ordeal over there in Libya. What an experience. It will linger on in their memories for long. But right now, let's talk about CAF. Confederation of African Football, they are the arbiter of everything that's to do with football in Africa. But right now, CAF opens investigation into Libya Nigerian crisis. Well, let's look at the statement coming from CAF after everything that went down yesterday. Well, this is a statement from Libya anyway. Maybe let's take it before we take the CAF one. The Libya Football Federation condemns the NFF action not to play the game tomorrow. Well, that's legal actions that to be taken to preserve the rights of the Libyan national team. That's for Libya anyway. Let's talk about CAF. Let's look at what CAF actually brought out. CAF views the disturbing and unacceptable experiences of the Nigerian national football team, Super Eagles, at an airport in Libya in a very serious light. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, has been in contact with the Libyan and Nigerian authorities after it had been informed that the Nigerian national football team, Super Eagles, and their technical team were stranded in disturbing conditions for several hours at an airport that they were allegedly instructed to land by the Libyan authority. You quote that captain there. The matter has been referred to the CAF disciplinary board for investigation, and appropriate action will be taken against those who violated the CAF statutes and regulation. That's from CAF. right now?
Okay, we are waiting for the disciplinary board that are to investigate and make their report known to us. As far as I'm concerned, to be honest with you, we are not expecting anything short of number one. In fact, to be honest, I even want a replay of that match, but not in Libya, in a neutral ground, to really show them, to spread their name, their country name, Libya, to give it to them, to show them that we are not their mate at all. However, for prosperity, the authority, that's the Libyan Football Authority, they need to be heavily sanctioned. This happens to Nigeria today. Who knows who it's going to happen to? And this is something that has been happening before at the club levels. Now they've migrated from the club levels to the national team level. So this doesn't speak well of African image. We are talking about the most converted, we are talking about the most important football competition in Africa and one of the best in the world. We've seen countries in Europe, just like my colleague here said, that they are in the middle of wars, but these treatments are not given to their own opponents. So I think the CAF, they have a lot to do. Then one important thing, if you are talking about the Libyan authorities, who are we talking to as the Libyan authority? Who is the authority in Libya in charge of their citizens? That is something that the CAF also, they really need to look into and investigate properly. Because all these faults, from me, take it from me, CAF also, they have their own share of the blame. Because we're talking about a country that doesn't have a government, a central government, that everybody is claiming one state, one region, in one way or the other. So I think the safety of the players are very important. So we'll be waiting for them to know what they want to do. But I'll place this on record. Anything that will invalidate our 3 points will not be accepted from the CAF.
Okay.
Anything to tell us that because we abandon the match because of the safety of our players will not be taken from CAF at all.
What a big one there coming from Olawale Peters. Let's hear Joe Abuku. Before we open phone line, Joe Abuku, you have to make it brief so that the Nigerians can also react.
Yes, so it's a good thing CAF has decided to open an investigation, and the facts of this matter should be pretty simple to establish. I know there'll be that interplay of, okay, what are the rules when a team abandons a match versus the grievous nature of complaint the Super Eagles made, but overall, CAF shouldn't be seen to be placing football rules above broader safety concerns. I mean, this went even beyond football. This looked like there's even a racist component to it and all. So our players got treated shabbily and all. I mean, imagine even saying the Tunisian airport, pilot was allowed to get a hotel room, but his Nigerian crew members were not allowed. So there's even a bit of racist, discriminatory component. So all of those things that CAF should take on board in their investigation. I'm sure Nigeria will be open to having a replay somewhere else on a neutral ground, but anything short of that, Nigeria should never be sanctioned or have having 3 points deducted, awarded to Libya after such irresponsible behavior. That shouldn't happen. But we'll allow CAF to do their investigation. Let's not preempt them at this stage.
While we are actually allowing CAF to do their investigation, Joe Abuku and Olawale Peters have been talking concerning the situation that happened between Nigeria and Libya. Well, the phone line is there. At least let's have 2 or 3 Nigerians also react on the show. Please, when you are calling, stay away from your TV set so that we can hear you. Tell us your name and your location and quickly make your point. How do you see that particular situation there between Nigeria and Libya? Well, the captain said from the authority, and you also saw that CAF statement that is from the authority, the Libyan authority. Who is the authority that actually ordered the flight to be diverted to a place that's 150 miles to where they will play or they were supposed to land for them to settle? And there was no water, no food, no internet, and you kept them there for good 12, 13 hours. In fact, it took the intervention of the various authorities from Nigeria before they allowed the airplane to get the fuel rather, before they travel back to Nigeria. What's a way to go there concerning that whole situation? We expect your call there. While we're waiting for that call to come through, the whole situation, Libyans are claiming because when they were came to Nigeria, this and that. And later we saw clip of how they were asked, or rather they were told to land in Uyo. They decided to go to Port Harcourt. And still, NFF still tried their best to make sure they get a bus. In fact, if you look at that bus that was awarded to them for that match, beautiful green, luxurious bus. And we saw the bus that they gave to Nigerian players. In fact, somebody called it Bakassi bus. If you remember the Bakassi boys movie they did then,
Yeah.
look at the bus that was given to them when they came to Nigeria. You understand? So a lot of issues here and there that has to do with this. I think from the way it is, Libya went too far about the whole situation.
Yeah, they really went too far about the whole situation, and I think I will also ask this: did they make any official complaint to CAF if truly we treated them badly when they came to Nigeria? We played the match on Friday, no complaint to CAF, and they claimed the incident happened on Wednesday, no complaint on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, until the Nigerian contingent got to Libya and they started their suicide attempt approach. And now they are saying it's because of what we did. There are rules that governs football administration. If your host team treated you badly, you have to officially complain if you have evidence that truly they treated you poorly and badly. Did they do that? They didn't do that. So we are the first person to lodge our complaint officially because they treated us badly. They shouldn't talk about because of what happened. We told you, come to Uyo and land. You are over an hour airborne before you told the NFF officials that no, we are not coming to Uyo, we are coming to Port Harcourt. And the NFF official even told them that okay, you are coming to Port Harcourt, the same flight that landed you in Port Harcourt, bring the flight to you. You are cutting cost. It's going to cost you more because of the fueling. That no, you don't have the fuel or you can't come to Port Harcourt. Within that short period, about 2 hours or thereabouts, the NFF official, they hurriedly rearrange a bus, a driver with security front and back to bring them from Port Harcourt to Uyo. And they gave them a 5-star hotel to stay. So what is their complaint about? They have nothing to say. This is what they call preempted, I don't want to use murder, but the preempted act. They've had in their mind that what they are going to do. And what they did is not about bringing down the morale of the players and our officials. Don't forget, it's not only the player that they are inside the aircraft. We are talking about the officials, a sitting deputy governor of a state in Nigeria, the NFF chairman. It's attempted murder.
Okay, well, we actually, what's a pain. It was a very harrowing experience from Super Eagles, just Sunday to Monday. Well, they are in Nigeria safely, and it was an experience that they will never, ever forget. Well, thank goodness they're actually strong enough mentally to withstand that situation. Well, from the way it is, network is not to be our friend, but we'll continue to hope that it will get through. Nigerians are trying to call in to make their point concerning the topic on the screen there. For Joe Abuko.
Yeah, I mean, it's been established. Look, let's even assume that Libyans were shabbily treated without considering. I mean, we don't think that's the case. But let's even assume, for the sake of argument or debate, that they were shabbily treated when they arrived in Nigeria. The proper thing for them to do was not to, undertake a tit for tat action. Like, okay, you did it to us, we'll do the same thing to you. What they were meant to do was rightly file a petition to CAF. That's how these things go. That's why it's called fair play in football. Now, if you feel unfairly treated, the right thing to do is not to respond with unfair treatment of your own. You don't take the law into your hand. That's why CAF is there. That's why, FIFA, if you feel even CAF hasn't responded. For you to just make a claim online or wherever to the NFF that, oh, we're poorly treated, and then proceed to behave in the manner the Libyan authorities behave, is totally unheard of. Doesn't project Africa well, doesn't project African football well, and CAF should know that its image is at stake here, its processes are at stake here, and they need to rise up to this occasion and make a very strong statement that will forestall any reoccurrence of this in the future.
Well, we've been at least looking at this issue, flogging it in the studio. And apologies for those Nigerians who are trying to call in. Network seems not to be our friend. Probably it will still go, but it's so painful that, those calls couldn't actually go through. But when we talk about this situation, just like Olawale Peter said, about why the Libyans are claiming the way we treated them, somebody who was with them, who has a lot of experience with our team, has at least been able to talk about the whole situation. Kelechi, if you follow us now, you know Kelechi, the own Dr. Kelechi. Let's listen to what he has actually said about the whole scenario.
So the Libya captain said that we sat their bags on the plane for 1 hour, delayed them for 3 hours, provided them with non-air-conditioned buses. They hired their own buses. They landed in the wrong airport, which was PH. But searching bags is normal procedure. That's if it did happen, because me, I don't believe him. This was us in Rwanda. This one, it was in Team Hotel. When we were leaving Team Hotel in Rwanda, everybody's bag was searched. Everybody. The journalists on the bus, on the coach, they brought their bags down. Everything, everywhere was searched. Standard procedure. This one is even in Rwanda. Even in Rwanda, as you're going to pick somebody in the airport, they are searching your car. As you're going into the airport, they are searching everything. You know, that one day. This is the hotel that we put them in, Ibom Tropicana, the Icon Hotel, which was formerly Le Meridian, posh hotel, 5-star. This was the bus we provided for them with security, escort, everything, standard movement. And this is it. In fact, this is not even all the escort, though, because obviously we cannot say some security things, but look at the movement, you understand? Prado, self-day, everything, Mopo, everything. So they cannot just come and claim that we did not receive them well, did not treat them well. How is this? I don't understand. If you watch the video closely, in courtesy of Brilla FM, you see Mopo with their guns, maintaining security. This was the one of the training days. The day before the match, they went into the main bowl of the stadium to train. So we provided everything. We treated these people with respect and love. You understand? We are Nigerians. We don't hate. We don't do anyhow. We give you the respect and the hospitality. So for them to wicked us like this is very, very bad and very wrong. Thank God the deal is over.
Well, at least to put a cap on the whole story, Nigerians know the AIDS. You see that? Anyway, because of our time, we have just 2 minutes. I'll give them 1 minute to Olawale Peter and 1 minute to Joe Abuku.
Okay, thank you, Adeni. I think we're expecting CAF to do the right thing. And the right thing is to do justice. And the justice belongs to Nigeria. Take it or leave it. We have all the evidence documented on how we treated them and how they treated us. So the issue of we abandoning the match, there's something that is prior to we abandoning the match. Is it part of the football rules that if your life is at stake, you should still continue? In fact, if you are playing a match and a fan life is at stake, what did they do? They stop and they abandon the match until they stabilize the fans before they continue.
Let alone the players.
Let alone the players. So I think the case is clear and the case is won. We are waiting for the official communication.
Okay, Joe Abuku, 1 minute.
Yeah, I think the message should be clear to Libya and any other nation that wants to employ tactics like this. The time for this nature of games in football is long past. There's no room for this in modern football. It doesn't show sportsmanship, it doesn't show fair play, it doesn't show the unity for which football is about. Football unites. I mean, this looks more like warfare waged from another front without the use of tanks, but it's warfare still, trying to break the spirit and resolve of your, in this case, sports opponent, not enemy combatant. So Libya should behave better. CAF needs to come out strongly and show leadership on this so that African football will come out looking the better for it at the end of the day. Okay, well, both of them have actually spoken concerning the whole situation. We continue to bring you more updates concerning this. That has to do with Super Eagles of Nigeria, Libya, CAF. What is the scenario there? Well, it has actually come to an end of the show. 360 Sport of Trust TV. I can bear with you that it was a real one today. Olawale Peters.
Thank you, Adeni. I'm sure our Ghanaian neighbor who can even testify that when they came to this country, despite the rivalry between us, we treated them very. So if Ghanaians can give us that commendation, talk less of Libya.
What's the way to go? Joe Abuku, thank you so much.
Thank you. And yeah, we'll wait and see how this pans out at the end of the day.
Okay, good one there. Well, from all of us, the entire crew, I want to say thank you for staying and watching 360 Sport on Trust TV. I'm Adeniyi Ajisafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.